Hi and welcome to Song of the Future and the weekly upgrade for this week. My name is Josephine, and if you want to read more about my work and understand more kind of what I do and you feel that you need some more information about that, I will I'll put a link below so that you can go to my website and get that from there. And so we can use this time to actually do the fun stuff. And so the theme for one more thing. So there, as always, there is a deepening available or an extended version available after this one on the same theme, and I have a link that below too. You can go to my website and purchase it from there. So the theme of this week is the ancestors and the dead. And there is quite a lot of energy and patterns that you all hold around that, and it's feels like quite a emotional aspect of your realities. So we will start by just letting all that frenzy and all that kind of emotional turmoil and the kind of the feelings outside of your body just be released now. And actually already any ancestors, we will go more deeply into this, but any ancestors and dead energies that are now needed that now already can leave and transmute, let go here. You're just gonna allow that, because it feels as if it's quite a lot of those that have been waiting for a moment like this to happen. So letting that occur now. As what is right for everyone involved. Releasing any bindings or contracts or commitments that has been made through your family lines to anyone that is stuck and trapped here in this kind of limbo space. Which happens when an ancestor, a person that dies, that drops their bodies, doesn't drop their body completely. Kind of that process isn't happening in its completion, which unfortunately has been the reality of until just a couple of years ago, has been the reality for everyone, almost everyone, I would say, on this planet, because it was a setup, and it was something that was kind of built and manufactured artificially to serve a little fraction of the inhabitants of this earth. And it's the same inhabitants that we see now, or the same source, the same frequency that we see now that is behind them the efforts in trying to, I would say, depopulate and control and just take over whatever they believe and feel that they don't have dominion over yet. You know, that, so it was a setup made from the same existence, if you will. But the good news is that that changed a couple of years ago, and depending on what you brought here, the settings of your family line, a lot of different things that we do not really need to go into anymore. We don't need the why so much anymore. We don't need the origin of something. We need, you know, it's all tied into that cause and effect language and philosophy, that we need to find the point of creation, or the point of the origination, before we actually can change it. And that's not true. And it's actually often a trap, and so that we will kind of go into that frequency and then entangle with it, and then either reject it or accept it, but become a slave to it. And we become part of that. We allow it in some way to exist as us, and we interact with it in a way that the engagement with that frequency make us then, you know, it becomes a part of our reality, even though we know that it shouldn't be. So it's a setup in that sense too. So what we need to do is rather to just observe, and when we have realized, or I'm trying to find the word here in English, when we have realized that it's there, just to observe it, and then actually allow that aspect of us, that ability of us that is able to purify, to transfuture, and to decode, encode. There's a lot of different words you can put on that process, and I'm not trying to so much get stuck in the language of what it is that happens, but it's the ability to self-heal. It's the ability to truly actually change. One of the abilities to truly actually leave the old and birth the new. And it's a continuous dynamic where you both, you know, in a way decodes the old and then encodes the new. You leaves and deletes the old, you purify that, and then you dream into existence the new. And this happens simultaneously. And you all have that ability. But now we accelerate that and we amplify that, and whatever is going on internally and externally for you in regards to this topic, without knowing the why, without knowing who it was, where it came from, blah, blah, blah. We just let what we are able to happen. And that means that then these ancestors now, and that those dead frequencies that haven't that are stuck and trapped can now find their true release and their true way out of here. And that means that they are dropping the patterns and the burdens in a way that they will not be, left over to you to deal with anymore. They will actually be transmuted and deleted and cancelled out in the moment now where this happens. So it means then that all the burdens and all the patterns and everything that you've been carrying and actually living for your ancestors, even if you have no idea what that is, but I promise you that there is quite a lot that you all actually are living and experiencing because of what your ancestors did or didn't do, or how reality was affecting them and influencing them at that point. That's been brought and that's become then your reality because you share the same genetics, or partly the same genetics. So that encodement then is decoded, and then you are encoding from your higher biology, which has nothing to do with the biology that is modified or genetically experimented on or anything like that, which every one of us has been, incarnating into. All genetic material and all the genetic lineages on this earth has been modified to some extent or another, because this place has become this huge genetic library and has been this huge genetic experiment. Whether we like it or not, and whether it sounds like a science fiction movie, but it's not. And it doesn't matter if you feel that it might just be. It will work anyway. So if you are affected, which you probably are to some extent, because we all are and have been, you will start to, in your own timing and your own time and your own speed, to be able now to delete that and reconfigure that and to decode that harm that it has inflicted upon you and the members of your family, past, present, and future, and then encode with the possibility of everyone living from and embodying their higher biology, which is basically your multidimensional, infinite you, embodied as form, as a human, as a new kind of human, but a new human that is aligned with nature's principle, and not that kind of new type of human species that some agenda want to accomplish here on Earth, that we see through different types of narratives and different kinds of enforcement into putting things into our bodies, for example. So letting all of this now be revealed to you in the way that it needs to, the history of this and the true history of any genetic experimenting that has happened in your family line, and anything that you personally needs to know, more detailed, if you will, because of your specialty and your purpose and your role here on Earth, and further on into the future. And releasing all the harm that has been, and all the regret, all the blame, all the sacrifice that has been, become this stuck, frozen trauma throughout your family line, on all sides, and then also often leading to different kinds of addictions or dependency on persons or external things, or any kind of state, any kind of frequency. So a dependency both in an emotional way, a mental way, a spiritual way, or a physical way. Generating now, if your own being, a specific setting of frequencies, a specific sequence of frequencies, or a specific song, if you will, which function like a immunity, if you will, so that no entity or ancestral identity or any dead entity or being or frequency that is flying around can attach to you. It's like you become this force field or source field, if you will, where like the beams and the light from the sun, this halo, which become this which kind of mirrors or turns the so it's like when certain energies will seek you out, will come to you because you have an ability to purify, and an ability to transfuture, an ability to decode, encode, and so forth, which is, and whatever wordings we use on that, but it's an ability which then allows for that energy to totally drop its body, which didn't happen before. And it might sound strange because the body isn't here now, because it's cremated or in the earth or something, but the coordinates and the kind of the blueprint of the body is then still here. It's still a mark here somewhere, so it still exists, because the process of then to drop that materiality and that material aspect wasn't completed. And because you have this now ability which everyone has, but which wasn't activated in these beings, and also because this hijack and this system was installed in this network where you weren't able to just very, very few people were able to activate this ability inside of them and actually use it. And so, but somehow these energies, of course, know this because it's an innate part of them. So they are kind of seeking you then to be able to get out of here and to find the release that they have been waiting for. Not like this kind of personalized way that I'm now speaking to, but just to get a sense of it, of what's happening. And so if you then don't have this ability and everything in place for you completely, then these energies can start to leak and into you and kind of melt together with or mesh with your personal field. And they kind of become these, in a way, kind of parasites on you. They become this relationship where they kind of are, feeding off you, even though it's not their intent. Because there are other existences that actually have an intent to feed on you. But I'm not speaking of those specifically here. I'm more speaking about those, that frequency which knows no other way. And so what happens now as you activate that ability and that kind of mechanism of you is that you become this reminder, or this, not even that, you become this automatic activator of them just going directly towards where they are supposed to go and cannot feed on you, because and will not feed on you and will not become this hybrid version of you. If it doesn't make sense, it really doesn't matter, because it's happening for you, inside you, through you already, from your own self. And this has happened because of your mechanism not being fully activated or fully accomplished here. And it really doesn't matter now why that has been like that. It could be a million reasons. It doesn't matter. We identify that it's there. That's the only thing we need to do. And then we allow our ability to work on that, to that pure love song of us, those different songs of our song constellation. We allow that to then do its work. Because that's the part of us, that multidimensional, supernatural totality of us now embodying here, that higher intelligence, if you will, but it's the only intelligence, actually, the true intelligence and the pure intelligence, which is also part of the intelligence of nature. It's that aspect of you then just doing its natural, normal thing. Because for that aspect of you, it is natural and normal. It's just that we have been led to believe and live in this projected world where all of that is considered science fiction, or, just for some people, and especially not you. And or if you have that ability, then you have to pay a price and sacrifice something else, like your life force and your ability to choose and whatever. So letting all this now find its rightful place and purpose. And in the extended version that will be available for you to purchase to a small amount, that in that we will go deeper into how you are and have been affected in different areas of your life because of how you're, because of the interference of your ancestors and those dead energies, because they can actually have a very large impact on our money flows, our business, the ways opportunities present themselves, our relationship, our intimate relationship, our sex life, our anything in this physical, our health, definitely, our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health. So just doing a final kind of fine-tuning, letting all loose ends just complete. And reversing all inverted in relation to all of this. All right. Oh, thank you so much for today. The extended version, if you want to go deeper, I will link it below so that you can find it on my website. And also, if you're interested in having either a remote session with me or a session in person, like over Zoom, well, not in person physically, but over Zoom, and just feel interested in going deeper, more with your personal things, I'm available for different kind of sessions. So, and you can find all of that on my website. And so much love to you. And if we will not see each other before that, I will see you in the next week's weekly upgrade. That was a hard sentence to put together. All right, much love to you. You got this. Keep going. Don't back down. I've got your back. There are many that has your back. You are not alone. All right, much love and bye.